Good afternoon and welcome to Day 2 of the 2017 Rugby Canada U19 Men's Championship. We are live on location here at the Truro Rugby Club, just outside Truro, Nova Scotia. It's the home of the Truro Saints club team. I'm Scott Squires, being joined today by the president of Rugby Nova Scotia, Gino Carew. And Gino, a matchup today of the Alberta Wolfpack, seeing their first action in the tournament, taking on the Voyageurs. And the Voyageurs played a game yesterday against Ontario, and 36-14 was the final score in favor of Ontario, but you were here for that one, and you were saying that score really not indicative of the game.
No, the Voyageurs had a couple bad breaks. They gave up 14 points on two 50-meter runs, which obviously they'd love to have back. But they were competitive, and they got some big ball carriers, and they'll present a formidable challenge here for this Prairie Wolfpack team.
So the two teams out on the pitch, getting ready to get things started here. The Prairie Wolfpack wearing the white and green hooped kit with the green shorts.
That's the Voyageurs.
Sorry, the Voyageurs. They were lined up on opposites. They are lined up on opposite sides of the field. Earlier, the Wolfpack were on screen right, but that's okay by virtue of this kickoff. The Voyageurs wearing the green and white hoops with green shorts, about to kick off, going right to left on your screen. And the Alberta Wolfpack, who gave a big team howl prior to this one, wearing the black and red kits with a little white trim. And they receive that opening kickoff. And we are underway. It's Day 2 live streaming right here on 5TV1. Glad to have you with us. It's Day 2 of our week-long coverage from right here in Truro. So underway, as we mentioned yesterday in the game of rugby, there's not really a feeling out process. Once that ball is kicked off, the teams are into it right away. And I can tell you one thing, when I'm out on the field talking to the coaches and the teams are warming up, you really get a feel for just how big these lads are and how fast they can move that ball. And it's a very quick-paced game. Sometimes it may not translate through on your monitor or screen wherever you're watching it, but it's things happen at a real quick pace.
Yeah, most definitely. That was a great start for the Wolfpack. They took the ball on nicely off that kickoff, ran a couple of phases, and then turned the Voyageurs around with a well-weighted kick. So we'll see our first line out here.
So the first line out taken nicely there by the Voyageurs. They'll work it around. That's Hodgkins.
Big tackle there from the Wolfpack.
And he's taken down to ground, but Hodgkins gets it again, and he'll kick it now, trying to clear it away from their own goal line, and it goes out for touch.
Yeah.
So it'll be
an attacking line out there for the Wolfpack. Yeah.
Kind of a different day than what we had yesterday here in Truro. Yesterday it was a crystal clear, bright blue sky, nary a cloud to be seen, no wind, and a very hot, humid day. Temperatures up around the high 29, 30 area, and the feel-like temperature was 34 or 35 degrees. It was a hot one out on the field. Much different here today in terms of the sky conditions, a heavy cloud cover. It's still pretty warm and humid, but certainly not that beating sun wearing down on these players. So I'm sure that they are a little happier to see some cloud cover.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a hot one yesterday. The cloud will be welcome. So that lineup was not straight from the Wolfpack, so we'll pack a scrum with the Voyageurs put in.
So our first scrum here in this fixture between the Alberta Wolfpack and the Voyageurs.
A big scrum there from the Wolfpack. They're able to put the Voyageurs under pressure, and they've won a penalty.
Both of these teams very fired up during the warm-ups in this one. I was, again, down field level, and the energy level extremely high for both of these teams.
As we talked about last night, it's always hard to wait for your kickoff to start. So for your game, well, looks like he's kick that into the end goal in touch, so we'll have a 22-meter restart for the Voyageurs. That's interesting to see that the Wolfpack went for that the ball to the line out instead of taking a shot at goal here, kind of announcing their intentions early, but unfortunately their kicker didn't hit touch.
So the kick high into the air, punched forward.
Yeah, we have a knock on there, so it's the Wolfpack with the scrum advantage right now.
Ball down to ground, taken out quickly. Good advancement there, gaining a few yards for the Wolfpack. A couple of nice offloads there, working it over on this near side to the wing. Good tackle, taking the ball carrier down to ground, but again, good job by the Wolfpack to carry on. Trying to advance that ball forward was Brock Gallagher. Back there for Mitchell Wainman.
Not moving.
And the play just to our right over on that near sideline, as both teams have had a little bit of ball possession, a little bit of movement, but right now it's the Wolfpack advancing fairly deep into the Voyageurs' territory.
Yeah, the Wolfpack knocked that one forward with a foot, and the Voyageurs able to recover, and then Wolfpack were penalized for not rolling away. So we'll have a line out here for the Voyageurs.
So, you okay over there?
This is Mitch Curie, wearing number 2 for the Voyageurs. Nice takeout there on that line out. And now the Voyageurs.
Good line speed. Back up! They're able to
advantage!
Good line speed, sorry, from the Wolfpack, able to catch the Voyageurs behind the gain line.
Ball carry gets spun around, but again, nice ball movement, a couple of quick offloads. Ball along the near sideline, that's Grant Baird.
Advantage over.
He tried to keep that ball moving, and he does. Gets it into the hands there of Jackson Matthews.
Rock!
Both teams right now very aggressive, closing time and space quickly on any ball carrier.
3 block over top.
Another penalty here against the Wolfpack, leaving their feet.
So penalty against the Wolfpack, advantage for the Voyageurs.
They'll look to clear their lines and set up an attacking platform from this lineout.
This Voyageurs team covering the province of Quebec as well as Eastern Ontario. So
down.
Good pool of talent to play from across Quebec and Eastern Ontario. Losing the handle there, but the Voyageurs stay with it. It was picked up by Jordan Thagard. Far side now, ball up toward that midfield stripe. Quick offload there into the hands of Jackson Matthews.
Move back.
Voyageurs trying to work that ball over midfield and into Wolfpack territory, and they do. Now they'll work it back, couple of quick offloads. Oh, losing the handle there. We saw that yesterday several times in the games, Gino, and we kind of chalked it up to the humidity and kind of just the perspiration from the very humid air. Your skin just becomes moist and clammy. And yesterday we saw some issues with being able to handle the ball cleanly, and we've seen a couple of times where that's happened here, so we'll keep an eye on that as the game rolls along.
Yeah, the little slick hands and the little bit of moisture on the ball will do that. We had a little bit of rain last night, so picking up some moisture from the ground, I'm sure.
Guys. Crouch! Bind! Yeah, I got set!
And we do have our match official mic'd up today, so you are going to hear a regular commentary, running commentary, if you will, from the match day official. It is a live mic. There is no delay, so just want to put that disclaimer out there that should there be any salty language come across the live stream, just to be prepared for that. It is a part of the game, so we want to encourage viewer discretion from that perspective.
Backwards!
Yeah, we had a big tackle there in the midfield, and it was well turned over by the Voyageurs, but now they've knocked the ball on, unfortunately, so we'll have a scrum now with Wolfpack put in.
So basically a knock-on is when a player moves the ball forward either by any means, punching, kicking, whatever, but it moves the ball forward in a forward fashion, which obviously is illegal in rugby.
Yeah, any sort of, if the ball's knocked on from the chest down, the arms, and it goes forward, will have a knock on, and then it'll result in a reset and a scrum to restart the game if the other team can't take advantage of the situation.
Set.
I like to call this the tug of war in reverse in rugby when you see those two scrum lines come together like that. That scrum started to wheel a little bit to the left, and before it could go too far, Wolfpack able to get it out, trying to move that ball. They do, they pick it out
Keep playing.
nicely there. Getting it up ahead was Dawson Coates, or DeWalt Coates, sorry, the hooker for this Wolfpack team. Now it's Nathan Amy
Jackson out.
trying to get it forward.
Penalty
Back
advantage
up,
here
back
now.
up!
The Voyageurs were offside, so they'll see if they can take advantage of the situation.
You see again the Wolfpack player,
They knocked that one on, so they'll come back. The referee will come back for the penalty.
Wayne Min
Time's
for
off.
the Wolfpack.
Ball down.
Had that
Ryan.
go off the fingertips.
Fine. Jack.
Referee's going to bring them in for a chat.
Over here. Hey guys, remember what we spoke about before the game started? The offside lines, right?
Yeah.
We're creeping up.
Okay.
We got to make sure we're behind the hindmost foot. Okay. Penalties, can't have it. Thank you. Make sure you dress your team.
It's a good communication from the referee explaining what he wants to see there. Players talking about letting them know, reinforcing, I guess, where the offside line is at those rucks and what he wants to see.
7
from
green.
them.
And that is a nice enhancement and advancement in the game of rugby, incorporating that live
Onside,
mic
buddy,
on
okay?
the match official. And
Onside.
I'd say probably more than any sport, the running commentary between the official and the players is something unique to rugby.
Yeah, there's a lot of communication there. Obviously, rugby is a game that plays has a unique law, being the advantage law, which allows the team to see if they can take advantage of the other team's error. So it's important.
step
the referee
over. I'm
communicates
okay with
what's
this.
happening out
Good.
there, and there is quite a bit of conversation going on out there.
DeWalt Coates with the line out for the Wolfpack. Couple of players got a hand on it. The ball popped loose, and it's picked up by the Wolfpack. They try to get it toward the goal line.
Back up, back up, back up.
Ball
back
is on
up.
ground.
Yeah, that was actually a steal from the Voyageurs that the Wolfpack have turned some pressure on. Turned that ball over.
Now they work it down the line. Couple of quick offloads. They're going to try to make a dash into the end zone now. Trying to get in there. That was
And
Thomas
he's
Burton.
in with the try.
And Burton is in. The first try of the game goes to number 15, the fullback, Thomas Burton. And the Wolfpack are on the board. Their first score of the game and their first score of this event, as it is their first action here. So 5-0 for the Wolfpack, and we'll await now the attempt at the conversion.
Yeah, that was some excellent pressure from the Wolfpack off that spoiled lineout, so they were able to correct their mistake and regain possession, and were rewarded accordingly.
So Thomas Burton, the gentleman who just scored the try, will now attempt to tack on the 2-point conversion. And I'm sure he'd be pretty disappointed in himself if he missed from that distance, that range, that position. And
Yep.
he is true to the conversion. 2 more points on the board. And the Wolfpack are now up by a score of 7-0. And at least to this point, Gino, early into the game, we're about 15 minutes in. While there's been fairly even possession in terms of ball control, the majority of the game has been played actually in the Voyageurs' end of the field. So I'm not sure if that kind of is foreshadowing of what may come or what's happening right now, but certainly there hasn't been a whole lot of play in the end of the field we're seeing now, which is the Wolfpack side of the pitch.
No, you're correct. The
And
Wolfpack
move!
has done a good job of keeping
Move,
the Voyageurs
9!
under pressure, and where the Voyageurs have had possession, they've been forced to clear their lines, so they haven't really had a lot of attacking options. This could be a good one here.
Quick chuck ball there was taken by Shuchuk. Forward again, taken on the fly nicely by Hodgkins. Now it's the kicking game back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit of aerial ping pong. Oh, an unfortunate knock on there.
Lucky.
And that, even a situation like that, if there's an offload and the person waiting to receive the ball kind of bobbles it and the ball moves forward, that's a knock on and that's a penalty.
Yeah, Taggart, it's just not a penalty, it'll be a scrum, so it'll be just a scrum infraction. So, but yeah, Taggart just took his eyes off the ball, looked up to see what kind of space and time he had, and unfortunately knocked that one forward.
Well, things do happen at a breakneck pace, and sometimes just that split second, taking your eye off the ball and trying to take a peek to see, as you said, what's coming is just enough to cause what we had there.
Almost certainly.
So scrum possession to the Wolfpack. And for the most part, it's been Wolfpack with the advantage coming out of those scrums.
Move green.
They're down deep into Voyageurs territory again.
Back.
And the moment that ball goes to ground, the Voyageurs
Never onside.
try to converge on it, but the Wolfpack have been doing a nice job of picking it out and getting it back into the air.
Yeah, the Wolfpack let off the hook there. They had knocked the ball on, but the referees had judged that the Voyageurs were offside. So Wolfpack have decided again to turn down the chance at goal and have kicked the touch. So they're really backing themselves in their lineup. They're looking to put tries on the board, not penalty kicks. So some enterprising rugby there from them.
Well, it's been advantage Wolfpack to this point of the game, about 17 minutes in.
Unfortunately.
That little offload pass there was almost intercepted, but the Wolfpack have to pursue now as the Voyageurs working nicely down the line, getting taken down head over heels with Shuchuk.
Stay back, 10.
Just to the right of our position here, right in front of us. You can hear the thud of the players coming together. That physical play that you see in rugby.
Keep going, 1.
Ball again worked off the ground. Now it's kicked forward off the foot of Hodgkins.
Yeah, nice look into space there. Really put some pressure on the Voyageurs having to go back to gather that kick.
And I think we've seen more kicks in the last 5 minutes than we saw all day yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday seemed to be a day of running rugby, that's for sure. But the both of these squads seem to be looking for the space and to turn their opponent and keep them trapped in that end.
Is there something that would transpire in the course of a game as we're approaching about 17 minutes in now that would dictate seeing that change? Where again we've seen so many attempts or both of these teams using the kicking game to advance the ball. As I said, we didn't see a whole lot of it yesterday. You said it was a running day, but today so far lots of kicks. Is there something that would maybe
both
make that change?
Both defenses have been coming up very quickly. No.
Yeah,
good. Taking away time and space on these runners. So what's happening is after 3 or 4 phases where you're not gaining a lot of ground, the 10s are taking a look.
No, that's okay. That's play on.
Taking some space in behind. So if you're not going to gain it running, then you might as well turn your defender around and see if you can put them under pressure.
And that was a good run there from Darian Morrison, and he took it down into the goal line.
And he's held up though, no try. So we'll come back. So if you take the ball over the try line, you don't score. Because the other team's preventing you. In rugby, you actually have to touch that ball to the ground. If the other team's held the ball up, they'll award a scrum to the attacking side again. So it's great for the defenders to do that, but again, you're put right back under pressure when you're defending your line again from the scrimmage.
Keep holding his hold.
So after being held up, we'll have a scrum just outside the Voyageurs goal line, and that's just another interesting part of the game of rugby. Again, so many fans in North America would be familiar with Americanized football where the football has to break the plane of the goal line. As they say, even just the tip of that ball, if it breaks any part of that plane of the goal line, it's considered a score, a touchdown. Not so, as you just explained there, Gino. You might break it over the plane of the goal line and get it into the end zone, but if you don't actually touch that ball to ground and the defenders can hold it up, you see what happens here.
Not a score, yeah. And that's actually where that's why you have the touchdown in football comes from rugby. So that's the basis of the game when they were formatting it. So
square.
I'd look for the number 8 here to maybe take a pick if they can get a little turn on the scrum here.
So as that scrum started to break down, the referee blew the whistle.
Yeah, he's awarded a penalty. He has deemed that there was an infringement by the Voyageurs. So again, the Wolfpack have decided they would like to have another scrum. So they're really
blind is on the side.
Putting them under
and I'll work with the other
pressure.
So we're about 20 minutes into this first half, a 30-minute half.
Nice and slow, guys.
2 30-minute halves here in this U19 championship. And again, it's the Wolfpack leading 7-0 over the Voyageurs, and the majority of the play has been down in this end of the field, which is the Voyageurs end. And it seems as the half has rolled on here, the Wolfpack starting to
Nice and square.
have their way and basically impose their will right now on the Voyageurs. And the Voyageurs just seem to be kind of on their heels playing defense.
Crouch.
Yeah, no, Wolfpack's done a great job in maintaining possession and keeping the Voyageurs under pressure.
Square.
But for the
Keep it up,
Voyageurs'
keep it
part,
up.
they've managed to do quite
Keep it
well
up,
keeping
yeah.
them out of that try zone.
Left. It's available.
Scrum's gone down. The referee's happy. He's going to play on.
That's 2 times in a row where you kind of, as you said, you saw that scrum just kind of collapse and go to the ground.
Yeah, if the ball's at the back and the referee's happy that everything's safe, then he'll allow that to continue.
Quick offload there. Wolfpack again looking to get it in for try.
Good cover tackle and steal there by the Voyageurs. Well done on defense. It's a great turnover.
Burton initially had that run trying to get it in.
Yeah.
But right now, to use that cliche again, it's the Voyageurs bending but not breaking.
Yeah, no, they definitely had a nice turnover there, but unfortunately the ball just squirted out of that ruck and they were able to touch it down. But that is going to result in another scrum here for the Wolfpack, and the pressure continues to build. I mean, it's been great defense so far from the Voyageurs, but they'll be pressed to keep it up, I think.
So another scrum. Again, down dangerously close to that Voyageurs goal line.
Nice and easy, guys. Here we are.
Voyageurs looking to bounce back after their opening game loss yesterday against Ontario.
Set.
Trying to keep the Wolfpack out of the end zone here again. And again, you see that scrum just kind of collapse to the ground.
Yeah, it's gone down again. The referee will reset this, but it's been 3 or 4 resets in a row, so he's probably growing a little tired of this. Definitely the Wolfpack has the upper hand here, so we'll see what happens with this scrum.
So that's several times we've seen that now, and we didn't really see any of it yesterday, but when you see the scrum basically almost immediately kind of collapsing and going to the ground like that, is there a particular reason for it?
Sometimes it's just a slip. Other times, the player's under pressure. If he goes down right away, you might get a reset as opposed to losing that scrum with the push. Now we are playing U19 rules, which are a little different than senior rules, so they can only push that ball. Oh, almost a pick off there.
And I can tell you right now, if Thomas Patel had got that cleanly, he would have been testing the cardio because he would have had nothing but field in front of him.
Yeah, he made a decision there to shoot for the interception, almost came away with it.
Voyageurs now will pick up control. It's the first time they've really had their hands on the ball in the last couple of minutes for any kind of possession.
Yeah, they are under pressure here. I expect them to try and clear their lines here with a kick.
And the prognosticator, Gino Carew, as predicted, the Voyageurs do try to just relieve some pressure right now and just kind of exhale and get this ball away. They've been playing in about the 10 to 15 yard range of their own goal line for the last few minutes, and forget the physical part of it. That's just mentally draining when you're constantly defending your own goal line like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've done an excellent job. Actually, they haven't conceded any penalties outside of some scrum infractions. So, in stand-up, their defense has been quite good. Well taken line up there from the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack have control again now. They'll try to work it down the line. Spinning with it there was Hodgkins.
Keep going.
Made his presence felt here today, number 10 in black, Hodgkins for the Wolfpack. Ball carrier lifted up in the air and taken down to ground.
Yeah, he was placed down safely, so no penalty for that. But
on the sideline, that's Stallwick, Connor Stallwick.
What number?
Trying to bull his way through.
What number? 9.
Looks out now more toward the middle part of the pitch.
Vantage.
Again, Wolfpack with it. Ball carrier this time is Jason Lyons.
You've got advantage.
Referee signaling advantage now, so we'll.
And that went off the hands of Darian Morrison and down to the ground, and the referee whistles play down.
Yeah, he was signaling advantage. We'll see what he's going to award.
Over
he's
here.
awarded a penalty.
Penalty
it's a
only.
question of what for. I'm kind of thinking it may have been offside. So. Yeah.
Late hit.
Oh no wrap tackle. So he signaled that the Voyager player came in and hit with just his shoulder, didn't wrap in the tackle, so he's punished. He's awarded a penalty for that. The Wolfpack have decided they would like a scrum, so they're really confident in their set piece, and they should be. They've been quite dominant up to this point.
Certainly to this point, the Wolfpack have
Come in together, guys.
been
Let's go.
successful gaining control of that ball coming out of these scrums.
Listen, simple left to right. Seconds in. Here we go, boys.
And again, for
Bind.
the majority of this half, we're into about the 25th minute. I'd say 24 of it has been on the Voyageurs side of the midfield stripe. And again, it's the Wolfpack who come out of the pile with it. Nice little cheeky offload there as Hodgkins got it into the hands of Burton. Hodgkins again. Now they'll try the left side, working that ball down the line into the wing. Tackle there from the Voyageurs, taking the ball carrier down to ground. But the Wolfpack again, Gino, whether it's up the middle, left or right, just keeping these Voyageurs pursuing the ball.
Yeah, the Voyageurs have actually done an excellent job in reorganizing themselves on defense. They got a little overextended at that time, and the Wolfpack made them pay in the corner. The referee just checked quickly with his assistant there to make sure that everything was good on the grounding. So he has awarded the try.
So the try awarded to the Wolfpack, so they'll tag 5 more on the board.
Shanda,
That will make it 12 for the Wolfpack. Conversion attempt coming here now.
Now I can hear you. Yeah. Shanda, just if you've got something, just keep coming in with it. Especially late.
Yeah, this is a tough one. You don't get any further away from the posts than this.
Usually when a offensive player has the opportunity to pick, so to speak, the area of the end zone where they can place the ball, they'll try to put it as much toward the middle of the field as possible, because the conversion attempt, which is away.
Yes, the conversion attempt is much easier when it's between the posts than when it's touchdown.
Nine, come here.
But that was a good attempt.
Especially when you're in the 22.
So a sharp angle from distance. Again, and you're right, Gino, that was a good attemp, but again, the angle very sharp. So the conversion no good. So the try extends the lead to 12-0 for the Wolfpack over the Voyageurs. But just to finish that thought, and then you were saying, Gino, that basically the positioning of the conversion attempt is based on where the ball was touched for try. So quite often when you see an offensive player with the opportunity to work it as much as they can towards the goal post or the middle, they'll do just that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Now the Voyageurs seeing some penetration into the Wolfpack side of the field for once.
Yeah, that was a lovely kickoff. They had a lot of height there, a lot of time for the Voyageurs to go down and contest, and the ball just went back off a Wolfpack player, and there was a Voyageur player there waiting to take advantage of it. So, nice kickoff from the Voyageurs. We'll have a line out here, though. They did force them out of bounds eventually, so we'll line out here, Wolfpack ball.
So the Wolfpack with the line out. And you'll see the players lifted high into the air. Getting a hand on it was Wainman. Ball went to ground now. Several players in there trying to get after it.
Yeah, it was turned over.
Penalty advantage offside.
Big hit, though.
Big hit indeed.
Advantage again, though, for offside. Oh. So this time it'll be a penalty for the Voyageurs.
So the Voyageurs will take that penalty advantage. They're
just going to tap and go here. The Voyageurs, for them, this is really a must-win game. The way the tournament's formatted.
Onside, get onside!
To make it to the crossover game. So I expect to see them again push to score tries.
Damon Adams running that ball up, taken to ground, but the Voyageurs do a good job of getting it off the ground and back into the air. Now they'll try to just move that pile forward. And this is the deepest penetration the Voyageurs have had into the Wolfpack territory. They're threatening right now.
Yeah, that was some great leg drive by the number 1.
Rock, leave it!
Bayard, he had took that ball on. His body position was rather high, but he just kept his legs and moved the pile.
And through that pile up down there, I believe a try has been awarded.
Yeah, looks like there has been one. The referee has awarded the try. Unsure who came away with that one.
Yeah, hard to pick it out of that pile. We don't have the benefit of a isolation camera, and from the distance that we are away, I have glasses recently, but they're not that powerful, Gino, to help me be able to see the number from this distance. But that's a great answer right there for the Voyageurs. I mean, we've been talking for the majority of this half how they've been pinned in their own end. They've been playing defense mostly. They've been doing well at it, as you've stated. But with time winding down here, I mean, we're going to get the end of the half very quickly. That is a very important offensive set and a positive result, getting the try.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good answer from them. It was a well-taken kickoff. And he added that conversion as well, just to bring it to I think that brings us to a 5-point game now. So
yeah, it's 12-7 now. So again, after the majority of the territorial play being advantage Wolfpack, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. It's kind of like hockey with shots on goal. If you're outshot by 40, but you're still only trailing by a goal, you're in it. And with that try, you said it, that's just a 5-point game now. So the Voyageurs, through all of this, find themselves only down by a try.
Oh, they let that ball drop on the kickoff. Normally you want to catch that in the air, but they are able to clear their lines.
They'll kick that out for touch.
So we'll have another line out here for the Wolfpack to attack from.
And again, by my count, we are beyond 30 minutes, but again, that is very unofficial. The actual match time is in the hands of the head official.
Yeah, and he would have stopped his watch a few times as he talked to players. And,
it's a good line out, taken quickly, and look at that movement right down the line from one side to the other, but it's intercepted, and now it's a foot race to the end zone. All the way, it's Patel for the try, and he's in, almost caught from behind, but that was a great play, a sizzling interception, and then it was a foot race almost the full length of the field. The only question was, could they catch Patel? And they could not. As number 11, the wing, Thomas Patel, he basically read that play, took the chance to step in front of it, and that's as exciting a play as you will see in rugby right there, Gino.
Yeah, we saw him try that a little earlier, and he knocked one on, but he definitely read that pass correctly. So you're golden when you scored, but if
that's
if you
right.
In this case, that's a great reward for a little bit of enterprising play.
High risk, high reward, eh?
Yeah, and for a half that was dominated by the Wolfpack in time of possession and in territory, the Voyageurs are going to come out here with a 14-12 lead on that, as that was the last play of the half.
Well, that is a very interesting turn of events, no question about it. And to your point, Gino, you got to credit the Voyageurs because you commented several times how they were basically making good, strong defensive stands. They were being able to reorganize on defense. And as much as the Wolfpack were pressuring, the Wolfpack weren't getting into the end zone as much as you thought they might have, given the amount of pressure they had.
Yeah, you always want to turn your pressure into points, and I think the Wolfpack, unfortunately, they came up a little short on the scoring side of things there. They turned down a kicks at goal and they left it for scrum. So the Voyageurs have definitely turned the table here at the end of the half. So it'll be a tight one in the second half for sure.
Well, the Wolfpack opened up with 12 unanswered to take a 12-0 lead, but the Voyageurs bounced right back with 14 unanswered of their own. And we'll step aside for our halftime break. Your score after 30 minutes. The Voyageurs 14, the Wolfpack 12. We'll be back. Well, that was a lightning quick halftime. So we are just about set here. The team's back onto the pitch. The head official coming over to do a little housekeeping.
Yep, both teams eager to get back at it.
Hold on. Hold on, just hold on.
So as we start this
Exactly.
second half, the Alberta
Wait for
Wolfpack
the
now
kick.
going right to left. And the Voyageurs from Quebec and Eastern Ontario going left to right. And
Lovely kickoff.
we were talking about it off headset there during that quick halftime, but that was quite a turn of events the last couple of minutes of that first half. And I made the comment to you, I did not see that coming. Anything can happen, but the way that the Wolfpack had basically been dominating with field position and with overall possession, to see the Voyageurs come down in basically the last 3 minutes of that half and to get 2 tries, quite a turn of events
On the
indeed. So
back,
now,
guys.
how will
Fines
the Wolfpack react?
Fines are
Yeah,
high.
that's always
Fines
the
are very
question when you
high.
go up those
Nothing
late
on the
scores.
arms.
It sometimes can
Very
stick
slow.
with you through the half.
Crouch.
Scott Squires alongside the president of Rugby Nova Scotia, Gino Carew,
Set.
bringing you the action here. It's day 2
Keep it
of
up.
the 2017 Rugby Canada U19
You're early,
Men's
Green.
Championship. We're on location at the Truro Rugby Club, home of the
Green
Truro
early.
Saints. Just a wonderful venue here, and
Yeah.
by all accounts, probably one of the top rugby clubs in all of
Go.
Atlantic Canada. The field here, beautiful. There's a secondary field as well. Beautiful clubhouse behind, and we mentioned it yesterday, but the grounds crew
Yes,
do a
please.
wonderful
Yeah, bring 'em
job
on.
here. The field is in immaculate
11 black.
condition, so just a
11
great
black
place
off.
to hold an event. TV1, we were here last year for the Eastern Canadian Championship, and so far this Rugby Canada event has been a dandy.
Just wait till he
No,
gets
most
off.
definitely. It's a great facility. So
Early.
the scrum claps there, and the referees awarded a free kick here for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack take that, going right up the middle was big Jason Lyons as he barreled his way through. Now they'll do a couple of quick offloads to work it to the wing. The speedy Sam
Keep
Ibbotson.
working, keep working.
Ball goes to ground. Wolfpack get to it quickly. Couple of quick offloads. They look to move that ball
Out,
forward
Jackson,
again.
out.
Getting taken down
Back
was
up.
Mitchell Wainman. And again, Wolfpack get it right back into the air as
Work,
quickly as the
work,
ball
work,
goes to
work.
ground. They do it again there. Quickly back up into the air.
A little kick over top.
Hodgkins uses the foot to kick that forward toward the end zone. Bobbled there.
22.
Oh, very close. He really took his time on that. So almost bobbled. Touchdown there. So it was kicked in by the Wolfpack, touchdown by the Voyageurs. So we'll have a 22-meter restart. It was awfully close there. If
That
the
was.
Wolfpack had got their hands to that first, that was a try.
That was very close, and that happened just in the blink of an eye. And the ball took a kind of an odd bounce. But the Voyageurs dodge it there, and they'll kick it off from the 22-meter mark. Taken cleanly by Shoup. Ball down to ground again. Voyageurs trying to get the steal, but the Wolfpack still with possession.
Stay back.
On that far side, Wolfpack do come out of the pile with it. Ball to ground
Wait,
again.
wait.
Good battle for it there as the Wolfpack kind of just tried to roll that ball forward.
Yeah, they lost the contest for possession on that ruck for sure, and then they were penalized when they came in and went off their feet to try and secure the ball back. So Voyageurs will be able to clear their lines now.
Want to remind you to make sure that you follow TV1 Atlantic on
Make my
social
life
media.
easy by making sure
You can
Seven's
join
in
the
line with you guys.
conversation at
Seven's the only one in front.
TV1_Atlantic.
There you go.
That's on Twitter and Instagram. And on Facebook, it's TV1 Atlantic. 5 TV1 powered by Bell Alliant. And we are glad to have you here. It's day 2 of TV1's live stream coverage from the Rugby Canada U19 Men's Championship. We also have senior women's action taking place this week as well. So a full plate of rugby all week long. We're glad to have you along for the ride.
I'm with you, Sam.
Voyageurs now spinning with that ball. That was Blazkowski. Ball down to ground again. Voyageurs get it there, and they'll get it right back into the air. They'll kick it forward.
Play on.
Trying to take it on the run was Juma Amisi.
Away, Green. Just wait.
Wolfpack right at their own goal line will try to kick it forward.
Didn't go out, so the Voyageurs will bring it back.
Bliskowski took that in the air. They try and work it down the line, and that was just knocked on there as, again,
Please bring
that's
one.
several times we've seen players just have a little bit of a problem cleanly handling that ball.
Yeah, the pass was a little low. It was unfortunate that they were in a good attacking position there for the Voyageurs.
Clean me up here, boys.
So we'll have a scrum on the Wolfpack side of the field.
Go, boys.
The Wolfpack from Alberta and the Voyageurs out of Quebec and Eastern Ontario. Putting that ball into the scrum for the Wolfpack is their scrum half, Brock Gallagher.
Bind. Set. Keep it out, Green. Keep it out. Now, 9.
Rolls it in. Wolfpack come away with possession out of that scrum. Cross midfield. I'll just kick that ball forward. After it there is Thomas Burton. Burton loses the handle on it. They're underneath some pressure. And now it's stolen away as the Wolfpack took advantage of that little mishandle over on the far side.
Yeah, that knocked on there by number 7 on the going in. It was tough one. But the Voyageurs again,
Guy,
all
10.
coming from a
Go back
midfield
10.
scrum, which was their
Green, go back.
their issue yesterday. They gave up 2 50-meter tries to Ontario from the center field scrums, and looks like the Wolfpack were watching because they tried the exact same formation, same sort of play, and again were able to gain.
14
Well,
with extra contact.
aside from that slight knock on, would have scored again.
Extra pushing. Okay.
So we'll kind of let the
On black.
head referee carry the conversation here for a minute.
Green. 14, thank you. 14. Come here.
So
Jackson,
he's
come
calling over number 14 from the Voyageurs,
here. Okay,
Alex
clearly
Shuchuk.
on. You would have had a scrum here. Exit strategies on. Team Green to make a push after the ball. It's going to be a penalty against you guys. Okay? Just away from the ball. Nothing. Thank you. Right over here.
Yeah, the assistant referee noticed a little
Push. Scrum black.
bit of off
Find
the
it.
ball incident from 14. He's just warning them not to have it again. There's a scrum down here now for the Voyageurs. They've come back for the first
The last one was really good.
so.
Yeah, it was very good.
And that right there is where
It's coming right on the mark.
the benefit of the referee
Thank you,
being
Shanna.
mic'd up comes in
Crouch.
and is a nice enhancement for the broadcast. And
Bind.
again, we appreciate all of the
Set.
officials here
Wait.
wearing
Now.
that
Keep it up,
wireless
Green, keep
feedback
it up.
first.
No. Just wait, guys.
Kind of a saw-off on that scrum, but it's again the Wolfpack who come out of it. A tackle there, and a big one, but it's the Wolfpack. Ball is into the end zone. Can they get there for try? And they do. So that was a strange-looking play, but that was all set up. It looked like it was a good play by the Voyageurs as they laid the big tackle on. The ball was jarred loose, but then it was moved forward, and it went into the corner of the end zone, and chasing it down was Elias Hancock. And he gets there and just all basically had to just slap that ball to ground, and that's a try.
Yeah, that was very interesting. It was knocked on in the tackle by the Voyageurs, but it went right to the support player for the Wolfpack. A little chip into the end zone, a little grubber through, and the winger was able to fall on that one for the try.
So the Wolfpack back into the lead, our first points of this second half. And it comes on kind of a strange play. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot developing. We had that big, huge open field tackle that the crowd was kind of oohing and eyeing about. And while the tackle was still kind of being finished, the ball kind of squirted free, as you said, was moved forward into the corner of the end zone. And the Wolfpack able to get there. It was number... I believe it was number 20, Juma Amisi. I said the number 20 from the Voyageurs. It was actually 20 on the Wolfpack. And that would be Juma Amisi, and his coaching staff telling me his nickname, which to this point is my favorite nickname of any player. Juma Amisi, affectionately known as the Black Hammer. And he put the hammer down there.
We'll see what see if the Voyageurs can have another kickoff like the last one, where they're able to
On the
regather
kick, guys,
the
on the
Wolfpack
kick.
under pressure. Beautifully taken again.
That was very well taken. All kinds of players in there digging for that ball. Physicality left and right.
Look!
Coming out of it is the Voyageurs.
Step back,
15,
Ryan!
Jordan Thagard.
Rock!
Voyageurs looking to answer right back here.
Advantage, not moving!
Referee playing advantage now. The Wolfpack player not rolling
Step
away.
back!
Ball to ground again. Now it's
Step
up.
back! Rock!
And it's inch by inch. But the Voyageurs working that ball toward the Wolfpack end zone. Now they'll offload it, try to work it along the line, trying to get in there right at the goal post. That's number 10, Blazkowski. Now they're pushing that back. Good stand here.
But referee wasn't happy with it, so he's going to come
Stop.
back.
Comes off
Be
right.
interesting. There's been a number of infringements.
Too many.
Here.
We're in the red
Looks like
zone.
he's
You're
gonna go to his
offside.
pocket for a card. And he has too many infringements. That danger zone inside the 22, so he's sent off to number 8 for being offside.
So Ryan Shoup, captain of the Wolfpack, is sent off. That's the first yellow card we've seen today. And the Voyageurs, on the back of that penalty and card being issued,
Yeah,
put
they're
it into
able
the
to,
end zone for a try.
Yeah, a quick tap there and well taken.
So back and forth we go.
Yeah, that was a great answer from the Voyageurs. Regathered that kickoff and immediately went to a series of pick and goes, putting Alberta under tremendous pressure, and eventually won the penalty and as well as the yellow card. So that'll be 7.5 minutes in this 30-minute format that they will be short a man. So in addition to getting those 5 points and possibly 7, they'll have a few minutes to continue to play with the extra body.
So Stan Blazkowski will try to tack on the conversion here for the Voyageurs as they have jumped back into the lead now. This back and forth game, several lead changes here, and that looks good. Just squeezes it inside that right upright. So a nice conversion try there from Stan Blazkowski. 2 more for the Voyageurs, and they extend the lead now, 21-17.
We got a player down, so the referees just stop the clock to try and assess
You're gonna make a sub?
how he
Come
is.
on.
Obviously, player safety always paramount.
Please make them.
So the Wolfpack came out, got that try on kind of that broken play where the ball ended up into the corner of the end zone, and Amisi touched it down for the try. But the Wolfpack answering right back, and as you said, just before they scored that try, the referee showed the yellow card and sent off their captain, number 8, Ryan Shoup. So disadvantage here for the Wolfpack. 21-17 your score. Voyageurs leading. And the kickoff. Oh, they tried to take it on the fly there, and I think they had a second thought as the Voyageur player looked to reach in and then kind of thought second of it. Pulled the hands back at the last second. And then a fight for the ball ensues.
Stop.
Voyageurs now, that's a well-played kick down the sideline, down into the Wolfpack end zone, or end, I should say.
Yeah, he's kicked it straight in the
Yeah,
touch, so
good,
they're going to
Chad.
bring the ball back, and it'll be a Wolfpack lineup from where the Voyageurs player kicked that. So
Off.
if you're outside of your 22, you can't kick that ball directly into touch. If you do, it's a line out for the opposing team where the kick was taken from. So some good vision there. There was space, but unfortunately just overcooked that kick a little bit.
You're able to.
Wind really not much of a factor here. There's a bit of a breeze blowing, and the wind really kind of blowing for the most part left to right. on the pitch here right now, but again, not really a factor. Again, we've got that heavy overcast sky. Pretty pleasant day. It's about 25 degrees right now. Scott Squires and Gino Carew, our 5 TV1 crew, bringing you our continuing live stream coverage of the 2017 Rugby Canada U19 Men's Championship. It was indeed, and now I'll do a couple of quick offloads, move it right down the line, along the wing. Ibbotson makes that run down deep into the Voyageurs territory. Almost losing the handle on it there was number 10 Hodgkins. And it's kicked on now, and now again we've got a foot race. There you see Amisi. He's quick. Now the ball goes to ground, and a couple players in there trying to dig at it, and the referee blows it down almost immediately.
Yeah, says indicates there's a knock on there by the Voyageurs chasing down that kick. So we'll have a scrum down here with Wolfpack ball.
So there's no question, Gino, that the surge that the Voyageurs made in the last few minutes of that first half have carried over here to half number 2, and it's basically been pretty even up in terms of possession, field position, and scoring. So it's on right now. I think you know, this is going to go right down to the wire. At least you think so.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great contest. Both teams being able to respond to the other scores. So it's going to be a tight finish here for us. Oh, taken against the head by the Wolfpack.
Voyageurs come out with it, trying to weave his way through is Jackson Matthews. Down to ground, and the Voyageurs are trying to pull it out of there.
Yeah, no, a well-won turnover again by the Wolfpack there. They got over top of that ball, and the Voyageurs penalized for not releasing.
No clean out, survive the clean out.
That was a great scrum from the Voyageurs, able to take that one against the head.
First man.
That means that it was the Wolfpack put in, but it actually came out on the Voyageurs side. So unfortunately, the player got a little isolated once he took it on, and the Wolfpack were able to win a penalty.
So 21-17 is your score as we work our way through the second half. Putting the line out in. This is DeWald Coates. Long throw taken nicely there, but it's whistled down. The referee doesn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't straight. So again, everything with rugby is about a contest for possession. So that
line out.
Referees decided that line out wasn't straight. It wasn't a fair contest. And the Voyageurs have elected to have a line out of their own now.
4 in, guys.
Big number 16, Aurelian Muller. Muller with the line out, taken nicely there, and now they'll try to offload it there. Bleskowski couldn't get a hand on it.
Away!
Leg drive there again, though, from the Voyageurs after that initial contact to make the game line.
Try to work it down the line now. Adams couldn't get it cleanly for the Voyageurs.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see a little fatigue here. We're seeing the odd knock on as players.
I'll let you know.
Maybe lose a little bit of
Dale, yeah, big time.
concentration later this game goes on. We haven't seen very many subs from either team, but I expect to see maybe a few more as we get a little closer towards the end. Get some fresh legs on there and bring it in focus.
So just to the right of our TV1 broadcast position, we'll have a scrum. Gallagher.
Back up, back up,
The
back
scrum
up.
half for this Alberta Wolfpack team.
Crouch.
Will get us started.
Bind. Set. Waiting.
And again, the Wolfpack doing such a good job getting possession out of that scrum. They'll work it down the line. A couple of quick offloads. Now they'll try to make a straight run upfield. It does cross the midfield stripe. They'll work it down to the right now. Nice move there by the ball carrier, just at midfield.
909.
Over to the other side, down to ground, went, got shock. Again, picked out of there. Nicely by Gallagher.
Yeah, some good phases here. Oh, little snipe there by the scrum half.
Back,
Wolfpack advancing now again, deeper into the Voyageurs territory. Ball down to ground. They'll try to work it back. Get it into the air again. They do.
Oh, the referee's going to penalize that. 2 men in front there. Yeah, they obstructed the oncoming defender, so he's penalized penalize the Wolfpack for those runners in front. So
21
gives the Voyageurs a chance to clear their lines again.
21-17 your score. Of course, this is the Rugby Canada U19 Championship from Truro. TV1 live streaming from several venues. Today we are in Halifax, Nova Scotia, the Halifax Forum for female box lacrosse championships. As well, we are down at beautiful Raymond Field on the campus of Acadia University for the Football Canada U16 Eastern Football Challenge. So you can visit bellalion.ca/TV1 for all of the information, schedules, and live stream links. 5 TV1 powered by Bell Alliance.
Down, get down. That's okay.
Just overthrown there together.
Again, Wolfpack able to get that ball off the ground and up into the air. Trying to move it forward was Lines. Through the legs, not able to get the handle on it was Hodgkins.
Yeah, he had
away 9!
Coming defender and just bobbled that ball. And the Voyageurs have turned it over.
Well, sometimes you hear those footsteps, you take the quick peek. Blazkowski now kicks it to the corner, angling it there, trying to run onto it was Patel.
Time.
Interesting. Some good follow-up by the Voyageurs. And they have touched the ball down, but the referee wants to have a quick chat with the assistant referee to make sure that the ball never went out of play. So we'll see what comes from this.
Okay.
So the Voyageurs celebrating, their fans celebrating, but a conversation whether or not that's a good try.
On the way and goal. It's a tough one. You know what? I think the try is happy. I'm happy with the try. Hit the flag. Are you thinking touch and goal? I have no problem.
So we've got Gino monitoring the
So is it touch and goal, yes or no?
audio from the referee, and it looks
Touch
like
and goal? Okay, we'll
it's
go
going to
with
be a
that.
good, no,
Okay, guys,
waving it off.
Balls hit the flag. Should have been touch and goal. So we'll have a line out.
Okay, no, yeah, it was a very interesting
Okay,
one. The
touch
ball
and goal.
hit
They've
the
got an
flag.
option to go back to the
So
scrum.
we have touch and goals, which will allow the
Do we know? Car's back on.
yeah.
Yeah, just hold on. Time's off. Jackson.
Very interesting.
Ryan.
Well, at this stage
option
of
for,
the second half,
22 drop.
with
or
the
scrum where you think it came
Voyageurs clinging to a slim 4-point lead, that could be a TV1 game changer right there, having that, what the Voyageurs thought was a try, be called no good.
Yeah, so what the referees ruled
Touch
is that
and
the
goal.
ball hit the flag on the way
Scrum.
in, which means it's touch
Thank you
and
for
goal.
that.
So now the Wolfpack have a choice there of having a 22-meter restart, or what they've selected, which is a scrum back from where the ball is kicked. So that's a huge change, in addition to points, and just field position and possession. So that's a big break for the Wolfpack.
And the Wolfpack, for the most part, have been dominant getting possession out of these scrums. We'll see what the result is here. And again, it's the Wolfpack who are able to get it off the ground into the air, but it's intercepted, turned over. That went right into the hands of Faderick
No.
for the Voyageurs.
Another knock on there by Gallagher, just uncharacteristically knocking that ball on. It was a good pass.
Charging ahead now, this is Ibukarine.
Go in.
Ball right on that sideline.
Little knock on there though from the Voyageurs, so we'll scrum down Wolfpack ball again. So definitely some exciting action here near the end.
Just at the end of that play, the two 20s came together. Elias Hancock for the Voyageurs and Juma Amisi for the Wolfpack.
Come on, boys.
So we'll have another scrum down now, just
7:20.
about 6-7 yards from the sideline.
Shoot. 7:20.
Speaking of sideline, make sure you tune into CTV Morning Live every Monday morning at 8:40 Atlantic,
Crouch.
9:10 Newfoundland time for the Sideline Scoop.
Bind.
Sarah Lunny and I will bring you up to
Set.
speed on all of the sports action from around the TV1 sports landscape. That's the Sideline Scoop, Monday mornings at 8:40 Atlantic, 9:10 Newfoundland time, only on CTV Morning Live. Hope to see you there on this Monday.
The Voyageurs looked to disrupt that scrum, but referees decided that they'd done so illegally, coming in on the angle by the loose head prop. So Wolfpack will look to clear this ball downfield and have an attacking lineout.
So that
Lovely little kick.
it was. Looks to go out of bounds, maybe about 15 yards on the Voyageurs side of midfield. So that was an effective kick. Out for touch, so it'll be a line out for the Alberta Wolfpack. 21-17 the score. And I don't have the official count, but I'd say we're getting into the late stages of this second half, Gino.
Yeah, definitely starting. The clock's going to be the enemy there for the Wolfpack.
Can't throw to
And
10
again,
guys.
this is the third time not straight at the line out for the Wolfpack.
Line out.
So that's definitely
contest,
an
but
issue for them. So they need to work through that. They've turned that over. The Voyageurs have elected to have a scrum, elected to have a line out, and use up some more of that clock.
So this will be taken by Aurelian Muller. Great name, and Muller just looks like a rugby player. 16 in green for the Voyageurs.
Away!
Ball worked back toward the middle of the pitch. Down the ground went Phil Lebrec. Back up into the air. Takes a bounce, and now off to the races. One man to beat, skipping around him, trying to get that ball offloaded was Faderick, as Faderick made a fantastic run, about 40 yards. Faderick was wide open, one man to beat, and it was a good open field tackle by the Wolfpack player, but a great job by Faderick as he gets helped back up to his feet by his teammates there and seems to be favoring that left leg.
Yeah, he's hopping along there. It doesn't look good.
But a great run there, Gino, from Dawson Faderick. He just broke away from the defenders behind, and it was just that one Wolfpack player back that made a great open field tackle to slow up Faderick.
No, definitely. That was it was well taken, well tackled there by the Wolfpack player. Fortunately, it looks like Faderick is going to come off. We have a substitution coming on.
7.
So hopefully Faderick will be okay.
Dale, you okay?
Getting into the late stages here of this fixture. The Voyageurs from Quebec and Eastern Ontario clinging to a 4-point advantage over the Alberta Wolfpack. The Alberta Wolfpack, this is their first game. The Voyageurs looking to even up their record at 1-1 after their opening game loss yesterday to Ontario.
Set.
Scrum over on that far side of the field in the Wolfpack end. Put in by Gallagher. Again, more often than not, it's been the Wolfpack who have gotten control out of the scrums, and they do again there. They work it right down the line. Nice run here coming out. Quick offload to the wing. Another one trying to get Amisi. Amisi does a good job of handling that ball and gets about an extra 15 yards on the end of it, brought down there by Thagard, but a good ball control and a good run by Amisi.
Yeah, the Wolfpack looking to take advantage of that substitution that moved the Voyageurs 9 out to that outside center spot, and definitely a difference in the quickness there between the 13 from the Wolfpack.
17 out.
Gallagher worked it over to Adams.
Play.
Working it forward still.
Hands in the ruck there. Voyageurs penalized for hands in the ruck.
Well, this is nail-biting time now for both of these teams. The Voyageurs leading by 4. Wolfpack threatening here, getting deep into Voyageur territory and time winding down. Not a lot of time left.
Scrum called.
Not a lot of time. He's elected to go for a scrum. Interesting. They haven't had much success with the lineup, so I think that's probably a good call. They've been fairly dominant in the scrum, but they've been called not straight a few times in that lineout. So they're going to try and tie in these Voyageurs forwards and look to see if they can exploit that mismatch outside in the back line.
Crouch.
Gallagher again.
Bind. Set.
There's the touch into the scrum.
Stop.
And the Voyageurs have seen the Wolfpack almost every time get possession out of the scrum. They do again there. Mishandled, turned over.
Oh dear, and he was through that gap too. Unfortunate there for the Wolfpack. It looked like it was a definite turnover, or definite opportunity to score.
And the Voyageurs, I'm sure, are aware of the fact that this is late stages and they're leading. They want to protect that lead, obviously, so they just took that opportunity to kick that ball as far away from their goal line as possible.
Yeah, nice clearance there. So I'll have a line out here, Wolfpack ball.
Just a reminder, our second game of this day 2 comes your way at approximately 2 o'clock Atlantic time. It'll be more men's U19 action. The Atlantic Rock will be taking on the lads from British Columbia.
Oh dear, now that one was not straight as well. So definitely an issue for the Wolfpack at the line out. So
Line out. Green ball.
That's the 4th not straight today. of a scrum down. Looks like the referee.
Green, straight.
Oh, the referees gave him the option, and we'll have a line out. Line out this time when Voyageurs put in. So, looks like we only might have a minute or so left from the referee's signal there.
So it is definitely gut check time for both teams, but the Wolfpack are going to have to throw caution to the wind here and really go for it. But the Voyageurs, nice job getting possession off that line out. They're going to want to be careful now. Carrying that ball is Lebrec. They'll want to be very careful. Make sure they wrap that ball tightly. They don't want to turn it over. Be careful of any kind of a knock-on as well, as there's been some issues with getting in control of that ball cleanly for both of these teams.
Guys, that's fine.
That's a great counter ruck there from the Wolfpack. Blew the Eastern Ontario Voyageurs off the ball, but a penalty awarded there. The Eastern Ontario. The Voyageurs got over top of the Wolfpack player and were able to get a penalty for not releasing.
Well, technically you're right. They do pull players from Eastern Ontario and Quebec.
And that's the ball game.
And if you had to watch the first 15 minutes of the first half, you may not have thought that this was possible. But the Voyageurs, and you see them celebrating right there, a happy bunch of rugby players from Quebec and Eastern Ontario. They celebrate a hard-fought and close 21-17 victory over the Alberta Wolfpack. And the Alberta Wolfpack came out strong, got up early, 12-0. But the Voyageurs with a real run. The last couple of minutes of that first half, Gino scored a couple of tries, took the lead 14-12 into the halftime, and that second half, full marks to the Voyageurs as they come out on top of a 21-17 win. So as we wrap this one up, Gino, we'll get you to give a couple of final thoughts. First of all, thoughts on the Alberta Wolfpack seeing their first action here at this championship. They came out strong. They looked good, but didn't get the result in the end. But your thoughts on the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I thought they did quite well. They came out. They controlled the play. Didn't turn down a couple of chances at goal, which now looking back and with a 4-point game, you may have wanted to take those kicks as opposed to going for the tries. But a great fight back there from the Voyageurs, being down and coming back near the end of the half, and then answering again. Every time the Wolfpack would score, they came back and answered, and eventually able to put some pressure of their own on and come away with a well-earned victory.
Well, that wraps things up for the opening game on day 2. It was a very good game indeed, no question about it. Close back and forth all the way. On behalf of Gino Carew, as well as Drew DeMocus and our entire 5TV1 crew, I'm Scott Squires. Once again, your final score, the Voyageurs even up their record at 1-1 with a 21-17 victory over the Alberta Wolfpack. We'll step aside, take a break. Back with you at 2 p.m. Atlantic for the Atlantic Rock taking on British Columbia. Until then, enjoy your afternoon. So long from Truro.